Want to know the difference between a razor cut that looks soft and lived in versus one that looks damaged and kind of scraggly? Well, it all comes down to these 5 things that most hairstylists never learn in beauty school. So let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Jen, and I've been cutting hair for a little over 12 years now, and razor cutting is definitely one of my absolute favorite techniques in the salon, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. Today, I'm sharing my top 5 tips that will instantly level up your razor cutting game. Tip number 1, not every client is a razor cutting candidate, and that's okay. Before I even pick up my razor, I'm constantly evaluating the hair. I'm looking for healthy hair with minimal chemical damage. If the hair is in any way compromised or overprocessed, I'm reaching for my shears instead. My sweet spot for razor cutting is between straight hair and to loose curls and waves. Anything curlier than that, I'm usually picking up the shears and dry cutting. This isn't a hard rule, but it's a great starting point that will help you avoid creating frizz or disrupting their beautiful curl pattern. Tip number 2, use way more tension than you think you need. This one is huge. A clean razor cut requires tension, like really pulling the sections taut. When you're cutting with proper tension, you get more of a crisp, cleaner line instead of a choppy, uneven mess. Your results will be so much more polished. Tip number 3, your stroke determines everything about the finished look. So here's what I mean. A short, tight creates blunt, defined edges. Think classic bobs and clean lines. But a wider, looser stroke, that up and down motion, removes weight and softens edges. This is perfect for clients who want more texture in their hair, movement, and effortless lived-in hair. The wider the stroke, the more weight you're going to be removing, and the softer the result. So think about the end goal before you start cutting and adjust your stroke accordingly. Tip number 4, feel the hair and the head during your consultation. I'm not just looking, I'm touching and really getting in there. I'm feeling the hair texture, but I'm also feeling the shape of their head and checking for areas of density. Most people have a ton of density in the crown area, so I know going in that I'll need to remove weight there. This detective work during the consultation saves me from surprises mid-cut and helps me create a shape that actually works with their hair, not against it. And finally, tip number 5, respect the hairline, especially with bobs and bangs. If I'm doing a bob or a short haircut, I'm checking the neckline. If I'm doing bangs, I'm always checking the forehead hairline for cowlick. Here's the thing with cowlick. You either have to go short or go long. If there's a cowlick in the bang area, I'm always adding extra length to account for how the hair will jump in its natural state. If I cut it exactly where they want it to sit, it's going to be way too short once it dries and bounces up. This one little adjustment will save you from so many unhappy clients. So there you have it. 5 razor cutting secrets that will transform your work. If you want to go even deeper with me and really master razor cutting, I've created a mini course that breaks down my process step by step. I'll leave a link in the description below. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more behind the chair education from me. I'll see you in the next one.